Not gonna lie, I woke up today and had no idea what I was going to cover because if we're being honest, there is nothing going on in the league right now. But thankfully, in my most desperate moments, the angels descended from above and gave us this beautiful gift. Kawhi Leonard as the Groot. Yeah, no, these are legitimately real. This was not AI generated, at least like the drawing themselves might have been, but the source, it actually came from somebody at Aspiration. And the reason they decided to bless our timeline with this today is because apparently the NBA found out about another Kawhi Leonard sponsorship deal during the original Aspiration probe and decided they're gonna look into that too. Now, from what I can tell, they haven't actually released a name of the second company yet, but I'm pretty sure in a couple days we'll find out. And for anyone who doesn't really know what's going on with Kawhi Leonard, just to keep this short, there's a limit to how much a team can pay a single player as an effort to keep things fair, and Kawhi Leonard was paid that maximum amount by the Clippers. But at that same time, he also happened to be paid $28 million by another company, Aspiration, that was being heavily invested into by, you guessed it, the Clippers. Now, Steve Ballmer, who owns the Clippers, continues to deny that there was any wrongdoing and that he was in no way trying to circumvent the cap rule. But anyone with an actual brain knows that there is no way, especially with all the new information that just came out. First and foremost, the Aspiration executives told The Athletic that they did not see Leonard as a natural spokesman for the company because of his detached public profile, limited social media presence, and what they believed was a lack of fit to market product. Remember, this is like after they had already given him the $28 million contract. But after weeks of not being able to figure out what to do with Kawhi, apparently their boss just came in and told them to stop thinking about him, and that this partnership is pretty much a dead end. I mean, anyone who follows the NBA knows that Kawhi Leonard's social media presence and reputation outside of basketball doesn't match who he is as a player. Pretty much his social media numbers does not reflect how good he is as a player. So you can't tell me that if I knew that, somehow the people in charge of making the decision on his contract wasn't aware and just decided to give him the $28 million anyway. And was like, yeah, we'll figure it out later. We're talking about the same company that gave Drake, who is the biggest artist of our time, $4 million, and gave Robert Downey Jr., who is the face of Marvel, which we'll talk about later, just $2 million, but then turns around and gives Kawhi Leonard $20 million in equity. That's over triple what Drake and RDJ made combined. But to the credit of whoever came up with this scheme, apparently there was actually an effort put into possibly using Kawhi as a spokesperson, which is why we have all these diabolical pictures coming up. Because after they suddenly realized that Kawhi Leonard just wasn't that guy, they found out that he was really into comic books and superheroes. So as a concept, they made images depicting Kawhi Leonard as Marvel's The Groot. That, you know, Aspiration plants trees and everything. But yeah, the Groot. And boy, are these pictures just hilarious. First off, whoever made these mock-ups in the company definitely used AI because these are just absolutely demonic. And timeline-wise, it kind of fits because AI just wasn't that great back then, which I kind of wish stayed that way. But yeah, what the hell is going on in that first photo? It looks like for no reason at all, they just decided to give Kawhi Leonard an absolute hammer. And no, you can't convince me that's a third leg because in the back, you can already see his third leg. But then for some reason, they decided to add a third leg. But yeah, it doesn't seem like the NBA is going to be ending their investigation anytime soon, which makes sense because if they get this wrong, it could open up the floodgates and all the fraud that's probably been going on. There's also some reports that Kawhi Leonard and his team are getting pretty scared of the possible consequences because apparently they might be able to void his $50 million contract, which means that he's gonna have to sign with a team from scratch. And the big problem with that is that in this second apron economy, ain't nobody has that kind of money. I mean, you know it's bad when LeBron James is out here saying that his next decision is happiness led and not money, because if he wanted money, there's no other choice but to go to the Brooklyn Nets. And no offense, but nobody wants to be a Brooklyn Net. But who knows? This might actually open up the gate for Kawhi Leonard to sign a vet minimum with like the Lakers. Except this time he won't have aspiration to make it up. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Kawhi story. I did want to cover two other things I saw on the timeline really quick and just give some thoughts. First, there's this clip going around that went pretty viral because LeBron posted it on his Instagram.
Goes to Miami, enjoy the play-in tournament.
So you don't believe they're going to be in the play-in tournament if LeBron James is on it?
With Giannis.
LeBron is going to be a non-factor this season. I think everyone needs to like ready themselves.
How is 21 points?
Yeah, I'm with the second guy. First off, the dude making the comments is clearly just a huge hater. If you think that LeBron James, who is one of the greatest playmakers of all time, isn't able to positively affect a team that desperately, and I mean desperately, needs playmaking and ball handling, then nothing you say basketball related should be taken seriously. I mean, there is a reason that a whole bunch of teams in the NBA are reaching out to LeBron James to get him on their team next season. But even if you take his name out of it, saying that a 6'9", 250 playmaker, father, closest thing we have to Jesus, who just averaged 21, 6, and 7, don't say it, wouldn't move the needle, is just insane. Now, would they be the favorite to win it all? No, absolutely not. But would he make the team better? Hell yeah. But yeah, there was also this funny thing that happened on Twitter today where this kid's dad posted a bunch of photos with him and Laker players. He kind of goes out of his way to mention that every single player was nice, except for one person, Shams Charania, who apparently was just straight up a jerk and not a good person at all. Now, I do have some thoughts about this because I don't think that any public figure owes it to anybody to be nice. But I do think it's important to recognize that the financial position that you're in is because of these people who follow the sport, whether or not they follow you specifically. Well, being a dick to them is just kind of weird behavior in my opinion. But what I really wanted to do was shine a light on this man's tweet, Rob Lopez, who decided to take this opportunity to slob all over Shams' knob by swiftly coming to his defense like a white knight, proclaiming that no, Shams is actually a great person because, hey, he texts me happy birthday every single year and also pays for dinner when we go out. Yeah, that's a pretty nice flex, Rob. Anyways, that's all I have. Just don't be a dick and let me know in the comments what you guys think about everything that we covered. Is Kawhi Leonard really going to the LA Lakers? Is LeBron too washed to be a needle mover at this age? And was Shams really just trying to get into this man's pants? Who knows? I'll see you in the next one.